Morning. Another big episode of TY24 Sports. I'm going to say it again. TY24 Sports. Now, I've been a little under the weather, so that's why you didn't get the Thursday and Friday episode. But I'm coming with a lot of picks this morning to make up for it. So I hope you guys are ready. We got Clemson money line. We got Ole Miss, Oklahoma State, BYU, Indiana, Nebraska, Buffalo, Boston College. I think that's supposed to be NC State. Yeah, I got to fix that. We got South Florida, Texas State, USC, Alabama, TCU, Liberty, UNLV. And now I know a lot of talk has been about Saluka. Some people say he quit on his team. Some people say, he did what he had to do. And I may give my opinion on that a little bit later as far as, the casino in Las Vegas actually offering to pay the $100,000 that he supposedly did or did not get. Or maybe he wanted some extra money. And UNLV stepping in and saying we're still not going to accept him back on our team. Because name, image, and likeness technically is endorsement money. So even if they were winning and undefeated and you're a quarterback for a winning team, you're in Vegas, technically if you had good management and a good agent, they could have just went to one of the Vegas companies. They're all around the town. Hey, do you want me to promote your brand? I'm the quarterback. Like prime example, Cam Ward, he came for an initial collective $1 million or so when he came to Miami, but he's gotten all kind of endorsements since he's been here. It's no different than in the NFL. You got your base contract, but you get the endorsements as you start to win from Gatorade or Nike, this, that, and the third. If you're in Las Vegas and you're the winning quarterback in Las Vegas and they haven't won since maybe the 80s, they'd be more than happy to have your face on the casino, have your face at the supermarket. So I think it was malpractice on all sides, the university, the management, because I'm seeing a lot of other players. We got a linebacker at Washington, I believe. We got Bear Alexander at USC. We're not even going to mention Bear because Bear tried to do this during the offseason. Bear's done this several times. He left Georgia. I don't know what he wants, but he's hurting his NFL future, in my opinion. You thinking about short term instead of long term because he's made more than enough money in college that you should have put that up, got your little apartment. I know you got your girlfriend and stuff, and you should be focusing on your education and getting to the league, Bear. You should be focusing on little crumbs that you get in college football, and you want to quit in the middle of the season. And then also the running back at UNLV, one of them decided to follow suit and leave the team. So I don't support that. I think you got to handle that in a different type of way. As far as schools promising guys things that they can't, they always do that, even in recruiting. Even if it's not money, promising you're going to start, promising you're going to get this jersey number, and then they get another guy and you don't get the jersey number. That happens, and it's not cool. But as far as NIL, that's supposed to be a third party. Get it in writing. I've been saying that all week. Get it in writing. The Shedeur Sanders KFC commercial is in writing. The DJ Lagway for the Florida Gators Gatorade commercial is in writing. Cam Ward with Life Wallet and Canes connection is in writing. You know what I mean? Because Cam Ward actually was bounded to the Hurricanes if he did not go to the NFL because he signed an NIL agreement prior to him choosing to go to the NFL or stay in college, which he ultimately chose to stay in college. So I don't want to hear all these people talk about, people do word of mouth all the time. No, that's very disorganized, and that's why a lot of people praise the youth. The Miami Hurricanes is having one of the top NIL collectives in all of college football. And speaking of top collectives, they had a list. I'm going to try to see if I can bring that list back up for you guys. But Ole Miss is also one of the top collectives. That's why I'm laughing at these Florida Gator fans talking about they're going to take our coach. I love the Gators, but it's Ole Miss and Miami Hurricanes over everything. So let me get back to the picks. I got a rep for my cousin. Utah is planning a big one tonight. A primetime game. Well, actually the late night game, but it's going to be 8 o'clock Central Time, so it's prime time to them. Utah, I hope they keep fighting, but the Big 12 is no joke. But let's go to ESPN so we can go down the full slate of games, and then I can get you your video footage on Instagram. I love the gram, in the words of Yo Guy. Okay, so that's loading up. Just give me 1 second. Pulling that up for you guys. I apologize. I should have already had it ready, but we do this show live, and make sure you guys look it down at the bottom and donate to the Cash App. By the way, while I'm pulling this up, let me pull up the Cash App. It's $TY Rebel 22. I've been getting the donations. I appreciate you guys. Love and respect to everyone that's donated to the channel. Here goes the moving kind of slow. Okay, yeah. Here goes the the cash out. Yeah, I'm having a little brain fart. $ TY Rebel 22, and you see it says thank you for the donations. We're very grateful for everything you guys give. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at TY Sports. No, TY24 Sports at TY24 Sports. So on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at TY24 Sports or at TY Sports Picks 24. But the 24 Sports is the easiest way to find it. So let me pull that down. I'll pull that back up a little bit later. And let me go to ESPN so we can get the games that are not on a ticket. I'm not going to go over every game because we got a lot to get through today. So I want to make sure I get you out of here so you can put your picks in on your apps. And also for anybody that's not using the Hard Rock app, I believe so. I'm not for certain, but you can download it and see. You can do fantasy, basically like player props on DraftKings, I want to say. Download it and just check. It doesn't hurt to try. But I think that is legal because that's considered fantasy football. Basically, you put $5 down, $10 down. Cam Ward's going to get 200 yards passing, or Isaiah Horton's going to get a touchdown, or Dak Prescott's going to throw for 200, or Malik Neighbors going to get 100 yards receiving. But let's go to the slate today of games. I'm going to switch this to FBS because there's some big games that are not ranked. Don't think just because they're not ranked that the teams are not good. You know, you got to get out of that habit. We got Kentucky against Ole Miss. Now, my synopsis with this is it's -16. If you're going to play points, as you see on the screen, I have Ole Miss. If you're going to play points, Ole Miss is incredible. But Kentucky is the defense that shut Georgia down, you know, and held them to a lot of field goals. Give me a second. I don't know why the computer's kind of tripping out on me. But anyway, let me continue to talk about it. With the Ole Miss, the Jackson Dart is number 2 in the Heisman behind Cam Ward. And, of course, you got the Travis Hunters. And you have your Carson Becks along with Jalen Milrose and Shedeur Sanders. But Jackson Dart, this is going to be his first big test. I know they went against Wake, but he has 1,554 passing yards along with the rushing yards he has. And he also has 12 passing touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. But Kentucky, they lost to South Carolina at full health, and they lost to a Georgia team that they basically beat. You know, they just had bad clock management. So Kentucky is a very dangerous team, but they're coming to Oxford. Let's buy it down to 9.5, even though I feel like they will cover. So maybe if you want to do 13.5, but I'll go 9.5. Kentucky, even though they have an anemic offense, you know, they're going to come around as time goes on. I think they'll lean on the running game and try to do some play action. I'm not sure what's going on with Brock Vandagriff, but he's got to get it together. But it's definitely an Ole Miss money line. Now, this is a rivalry game. Minnesota and Michigan. Michigan bullied USC, but they still had to come from behind because USC is so talented. Now, with this Minnesota game, it's going to be a little bit different. I don't know why it keeps – you know, I'm going to put it up on my other screen because I don't know what's going on. The devil's working today. Every time I try to go to the schedule, you see it keeps disappearing, but, you know, that's why you got backup. I got my backup screen, so I'm going to pull it up on this one. And I'll try to pull it up so you guys can see it, but I'm still looking at it. Right now, the line is 10.5 for Michigan. They don't score points like that for it. I wouldn't give Michigan 10.5 against anybody. Now, if they do it, hey, they do it. But I am interested in seeing Alex Orji pass a little bit. You know, I believe that's malpractice. He is a comparable guy to Jalen Milroe at Alabama. You know, a lot of times, you know, you have these coaches that can't coach. They just want to stake out of the garbage can. And then you'll see like a guy go to a coach that knows what they're doing, and then they'll improve like Jalen Milroe did. You know, remember when the quarterback coach at Alabama said, go play wide receiver, not Jalen Milroe's up for the Heisman. So I feel like Alex Orji, if Sherrod Moore really wants to stay as coach at Michigan, he needs to work on some short passing, and eventually you build up the confidence of Alex Orji. You know, because he's great with his legs, but I feel like you guys have a gym and you're not using them right. But as far as Minnesota, they're hungry. They had a close loss against Carolina, and then let me see what else they took an L to. Because I'm gonna just look at it on my other screen. I'm not gonna go to that screen. Okay, Iowa was kind of a bad one. They lost 31-14. I feel like I'm gonna go Michigan money line. I'm gonna go Michigan -6.5. That's all I can give them is a touchdown. Oklahoma State and Kansas State. Now, a lot of people might be interested in why would you go with Oklahoma State? Well, the Arkansas game and the Utah game. I feel against great talent. I mean, Kansas State has faced some good teams. They came back and beat Tulane, which is no joke, one of the top group of fives. Kansas State also, they're home, so that means a lot. And they just took a whooping to BYU. But I just feel like in big games, Oklahoma State has performed well, even in losses, whatever. Kansas State, they definitely bullied around Arizona. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like fumbling over my words. I apologize. But with this -5.5, that's already telling you something. It's less than a touchdown. I would say if you want to be safe, since they're saying -5.5, let's do Oklahoma State +9.5 or +6.5. And you won't go wrong. But if you want to money line it, I would go with Oklahoma State. Now, we got BYU. I told you, this is a Big 12 weekend, All right, so BYU is visiting Baylor. Baylor is hungry. They just took a loss to Coach Prime in a game that they thought they had. So I feel like they're dangerous. That's why it's only it's actually Baylor -3 at home. I'm gonna go with BYU +3, and I'm gonna go with BYU. I know what. Let's go with BYU +1 or +2. You don't even got to go to +3, but I'll go with BYU +3 and BYU money line. I feel like Baylor will give them everything they can handle, but BYU will handle it. Remember, this is a Mormon team. It's majority seniors and juniors because they go on that 2-year mission when they leave and go out of the country. So it's always going to be a very senior-led team when you're talking about dealing with the likes of BYU. Now, this one is not on the screen, but I have Indiana over Maryland. I'm not so sure about it, but I'm going to go with Indiana money line. But this -7, I don't know about that. So if you look down at the bottom, I got Indiana. I'm not going to keep messing with this screen. So this isn't one that's on the big screen. I got it on my small screen. But Indiana against Maryland. Maryland is a tough team, offensive and defensively, but Indiana is at home, and they've been able to take down some teams, surprisingly so far this year. So I feel like they'll continue with the success that they've had on previous. I know a lot of people are going to say FIU and UCLA is no Maryland, and no, they're not Maryland. Maryland did only lose to Michigan State, but I feel like Indiana should be able to hold down the fort at home. Now, Wisconsin and USC. Let's talk about it. Wisconsin is down Tyler Van Dyke. Some people will say addition by subtraction, but we're not going to take any shots at the young man. Shout out to Tyler. He gave Miami all he had. It didn't work out. Now they got USC -14.5. I'm gonna take those points down a little bit. I feel like Wisconsin, will try their best. So let's go USC -9.5. USC money line. Now we're looking at Louisville and Notre Dame. Now, first I'm mad because this is on Peacock. It's not on regular NBC. For as long as we've always known, all Notre Dame home games have been on NBC. I can see them putting it on Peacock and NBC, but all these streaming services with college football, where they're going to figure out college football fans will just flip to the next game. Stop putting these games on streaming services or put them on both. Or you got to, give us a different incentive. But they're going to lose a lot of viewership for a top-ranked game in the ACC because Notre Dame is ACC in every other sport except for football, where they play 5 ACC games. But Louisville against Notre Dame, I know you got that strong defense, you got that running quarterback, you got the running game, the short passing, but I don't think Notre Dame necessarily has the firepower to throw back and forth with Louisville. So that's why I'm gonna go with Louisville money line. I'm gonna go with Louisville money line. So that's gonna be a bonus because that's not on the regular ticket, I don't believe. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Louisville money line. So that's your bonus. That's gonna be your first bonus. So I hope everybody stay tuned because, like I always tell you guys, there's always bonus picks that I'm not putting on a regular ticket. So Louisville over Notre Dame. Don't take any points. If you're gonna take Louisville, take them. Since it's Notre Dame -7, let's take Louisville +7. Let's take them +7. Okay, now we got Oklahoma visiting Auburn. Now in the regular season, in the preseason, I picked Auburn to win this game. Oklahoma's coming off a tough loss where they fought Auburn, they got a lot of turmoil going on. This is the second or third quarterback change that Hugh Freeze has had, and his former quarterback, my former quarterback, Bo Wallace, is taking shots at him online. But I do feel Auburn can get the upset. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of leaning towards. I'm kind of torn on this one. So we're not gonna really go with any money line. What I want you guys to do is take Oklahoma +7. Let's take Oklahoma +7 because if Auburn wins, it will not be a blowout. Now we got Arkansas and Texas A&M. This is an interesting one. You all know I love Texas A&M quarterback. Tylen Green. Even though he's 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, but he has 957 yards. And if he played 4 games, that's a touchdown in the pick game. But he does a lot on the ground with his legs too. But you also have a guy, Ole Miss decommit that committed to Texas A&M, Marcel Reese. No, am I saying his name wrong? Hold on, give me 1 second. I don't think it's Marcel Reese. Let me try to say. But anyway, while I'm looking up the young man's name, Texas A&M, they're at home. They're strong. Arkansas is strong. Now they got Texas A&M -5.5. So what I'm going to do for you guys, let's go Arkansas +9.5. So that's another bonus for you guys because I don't believe I put it on the ticket. No, because I was scared of that game. So I want Arkansas +9.5. Arkansas +9.5. Maybe Texas A&M money line, but don't be surprised if Arkansas wins. So I would stay away from the money line. Now, Texas. We got Texas against Mississippi State. Now, we all know we're going to go Texas money line if they even give you a line. But 37.5 points is what they want to give you. Let's try to buy the points down as low as we can. I would like Texas maybe 35 points. Because you never know. Mississippi State is still an SEC team, All right, now in the ACC, we got Stanford against Clemson. A lot of people expected Stanford when they were down, but it looks like ACC made a good pickup with Stanford and Cal. Cal, they're a pretty decent team, but Stanford looks like they're real. They went on the road in their first ACC game and shocked Syracuse. Now this is Clemson -21.5. If they do that, fine. Clemson is looking like a juggernaut. Ignore that Georgia game, but Stanford is looking like Stanford. They're scrappy and they'll fight. So see how far you can get those points down. I would like really honestly, I know that you can't buy it that far. I would like a Clemson -9.5. I just don't see Stanford going all the way out there and laying down. This is a game I really would stay away from. It's a 7:00 game. Anything can happen. You saw Virginia Tech and Miami last night, but I would say let's be careful with that. Do that as a single bet. Take that off your ticket. Do not put that on your ticket. If you have to, we just go with Clemson money line. But I'm kind of scared of Stanford. All right, Iowa State and Houston. Iowa State and Houston. They got Iowa State -16. Let's do Iowa State -9.5 in money line. Now we got Georgia and Alabama. Yeah, this is the big ticket game. They got Georgia -1. That means they don't know who's gonna win. I'm going to go Alabama money line, Alabama +1. Okay, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on that. Okay, Ohio State at Michigan State. Michigan State has been in the thick of things. You saw them with Boston College. You saw them with Maryland. The Big Ten is not just USC, Michigan, and Ohio State. You got Oregon. You got Michigan State. You got Maryland. You got Rutgers that beat Washington last night. Rutgers is now 4-0. Okay, a home game. Will Michigan State protect their home? They are -23.5 against Ohio State. Take them +23.5. And that's it. I don't believe that they'll win, but I believe they'll give Ohio State everything they can handle. And this is a rivalry game, so be careful. Don't money line this. Take this, as Michigan State +23.5. Now we got Illinois and Penn State. Woo! Woo! Illinois and Penn State. Okay, technical difficulties again. We're just gonna press back. I said press black. My bad. Okay, so this screen is tripping on me, so I'm gonna go to my other screen. Illinois and Mississippi State. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring this back up so you guys can see it, but I'm not gonna stop the show for that. So we got Illinois and Michigan State at the night hour. This is gonna be another Peacock game. And see, this is what I'm saying. Peacock got 2 games today, and then no NBC live games. I don't know what that's about. Hopefully they'll put the Notre Dame game on NBC. We'll see. But It's minus 23. No, I'm sorry. We go Illinois and Penn State. Illinois and Penn State, they got Penn State minus 19 and a half. That's a lot of points against an Illinois team that's undefeated, that's ranked, that has taken on Kansas, that's taken on Nebraska. I don't believe in it. So you know what? We're going to take Illinois plus 19 and a half. That's easy money. That's easy money. Don't even pick a winner. You don't have to money line everything. So let's take Illinois plus 19 and a half. So that's going to be another bonus for you guys. That's another bonus for you guys. Illinois plus 19 and a half. They just giving it to you like it's taking candy from a baby. That's easy. So it's loaded back up for you guys. So now you can see what I'm talking about. So they got Penn State minus 19 and a half. Let's take Illinois plus 19 and a half. Okay, and this one is going to be on NBC along with Peacock. So thankfully, they are being smart about that one, because I understand you want people to watch your streaming service, but you got to give us some games on regular TV. Okay, so now we got LSU and South Alabama. South Alabama has been scoring crazy points on everybody. They got LSU minus 20 and a half. I don't know about LSU defense against South Alabama's offense. See if you can buy it back to 21 and a half. But I'm going to go with South Alabama plus 20 and a half because South Alabama scored a lot of points against App State, and they scored 87 against what was it, Northwestern State. So they can score on anybody. Now we got Washington State and Boise State. This is on the ticket. Is it not? Okay, no. So this is a bonus. I made a mistake. Okay, so with this one, this is very interesting. When Boise State is at home, only lost to Oregon in the game that they probably should have won. Washington State knocked off Washington. They've been showing out for the Pac-12. The line is minus 6.5. Let's push it back to plus 9.5 for Washington State. If you got to money line it, don't. Okay, now we got minus 9.5. Utah hosting Arizona. Go to minus 6.5. Utah money line. Utah. Okay, now we got Oregon going to UCLA. Oregon minus 25.5. Let's go UCLA plus 25.5. Oregon defense kind of shaky. UCLA, they did well against LSU. I believe they'll be able to keep it within 26 points. So that's going to be all of my point spreads and my picks. Now let's get a look at some of the football action that's happened so far this weekend, including that Miami game and that Rutgers game. It's a lot going on, And we're going to get up out of here so you guys can put your picks in and be looking out for my upset alert for the NFL and for the college football. I'll be posting those on YouTube, on Instagram, and TikTok right after this. So look out for those. Okay, so now, as soon as we pop up on Instagram, let me pull it up for you guys. Everybody is debating about that catch that was called a catch, which it should not have been called a catch, against Miami and Virginia Tech. And I feel for Virginia Tech and Kyron Drones, because to a certain extent, he went toe-to-toe with his cousin, Cam Ward. And Kyron Drones really improved his stock for next year or the year after, because I think he needs one more year of college football, but he's definitely improved as a passer even during this season. Okay, so now, ACC issues a statement on controversial call at the end of Virginia Tech versus Miami. During the review of the last play, it was determined that the loose ball was touched by a Miami player while he was out of bounds, which makes it an incomplete pass and it immediately ends the play. Not only that, the guy was bobbling the ball. We watch this all the time. We've seen this go against Miami, go against different people. You have to complete the process of a catch. It's called the process of a catch. When he goes to the ground, the ball is moving, and it's being touched by somebody that's out of bounds. Look at this, because it's actually on 43's hip. It's on 43's hip. It's moving. He doesn't have full control of it. It's moving around, and 43 is out of bounds. I don't understand why a lot of people like now they're saying, oh, they wanted to show favoritism. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was really afraid. I didn't know how this was gonna go. I'm thankful for this for Virginia Tech and Miami because I'm one of those guys. I like strength of schedule, and I hope Virginia Tech goes on a winning streak after this. But I'm not gonna lie, Virginia Tech has a tough schedule. I believe they got Boston College, Syracuse, they got Clemson, they got a couple other teams, so it's gonna be tough for them. Georgia Tech playing well. Louisville. I don't think they play Louisville, but Miami does. But that's why I hope Louisville beats Notre Dame. But it's a lot going on. But this Virginia Tech team, if they played how they played last night, they would have beat Vanderbilt. They would have beat. I don't know if they beat Rutgers because Rutgers is tough. But shout out to both teams because that is a rivalry game. I didn't hear anybody speak about that. They just kept talking about Miami. I love Miami, but don't let that slip your mind that some of these ACC teams, Syracuse, Boston College, Virginia Tech, them being good helps Miami not only for the strength of schedule, but these are rivalry games. We already know Florida State is down, so a good Virginia Tech, that's great for Miami for morale. They had a great showing. Fans showed up. Everybody tries to clown Miami for home game attendance, but they showed up to the Rock probably because a lot of high school games were canceled on Thursday, and they weren't sure if they were going to have high school games on Friday. They ultimately did, but nobody wanted to stand out in that rain. It's no covering at these high school stadiums, so a lot of people that would have been at those high school games were at the Hard Rock. And at halftime, Miami kept fighting, and that's what I like about it because this is one of those games where you could have laid down and played like you didn't have no fight in you, but they kept on fighting because even for it to be 24-17, they had to fight for that. They had to get some stops, force a field goal. And now Auburn, remember what I was telling you about switching quarterbacks? This is a quarterback they snatched out at Auburn. Now they're putting him back in the lineup, Hugh Freeze is. And this is what Bo Wallace has been talking about. I'm not on either side. I've had no good and bad encounters with Hugh Freeze. Not really bad with Bo Wallace, you know what I mean? He got an ego sometimes, the quarterback, but he's a good dude, you know what I mean? He is emotional, he's real emotional with his teammates. I remember when Quan got hurt, he was very supportive, so shout out to Bo Wallace, I think he's coaching now. He's just passionate about the young quarterbacks. He doesn't want them being mistreated. Also, on College Game Day, one thing about college coaches, you always need a great wife. It's like being a president. And the backbone of Alabama program, from cooking to getting the donations with the alumni, was Miss Terry Saban. Miss Terry will actually be a guest picker for the Alabama Georgia game on College Game Day. So let's give a round of applause to Nick Saban's wife. Miss Terry. You always see the famous couch in the living room. She always, made sure she set Saban straight, let him know when you're right, when you're wrong. So shout out to her for being a strong woman supporting this guy, whether you like him or not. This is a game that was canceled, Liberty in Appalachian State. So yeah, I actually have that on the screen, but unfortunately there will be no Liberty game. So you can take that off your ticket. You don't have to take it off because they're not gonna let you use it anyway. Also, new uniforms debuting. The Rutgers uniform look cold. They had that on last night, the black with the red letters. You got Oregon looking like an actual duck with the yellow and the green on. And then you got the mean green. This is who is this? This is North Texas. Then you got Utah. Shout out to Kenneth. Utah with the all black on, ready for war. Then you got UCF hosting Colorado. I don't know if I kind of like this Oreo look. You got Liberty, but unfortunately they won't be able to debut those. You got Texas Tech in the all black. Okay, Texas Tech. And then you got FIU wearing the powder blue. So that's pretty dope. And then also here it goes, Bear Alexander with red shirt for the remainder of the season and enter the transfer portal. And then we got the running back, Michael Allen, announced his plans to redshirt the remainder of the season into the transfer portal, running back for UNLV. But I still feel like they'll be able to push through. And then this is Matthew Saluka. NIL representative says that he was offered a minimum of $100,000 to transfer to UNLV, but he allegedly only received $3,000. But the problem is, people at UNLV is saying that he got $100,000 and he's asking for $300,000 because he got them undefeated. But they are saying that he's less than 50% passing, even though he only has 1 interception and 8 touchdowns. But I saw games with him. He runs well. They cannot tackle him. But his passing, either he's going to throw an incomplete or he's going to throw a touchdown. He doesn't throw interceptions, but he is not efficient passing. The guy behind him, because they actually got 2 transfer quarterbacks, he would have beat him out. He just can't run like him, but he can pass it. So I guess they're going to go to more of like what they did last year when they were passing. Because remember, last year's UNLV quarterback is a backup at USC now because he's thinking about his NFL future. Maya Carver. Looking at Heisman odds, this was going into the week, but I think it's going to stay the same after Cam Ward's 5 touchdowns last night. You got Cam Ward. Then you got Jackson Dart of Ole Miss. You got Jalen Milroe. You got Nico from Tennessee. Ayamaya Vela. Then you got Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. I'm kind of skeptical of Dylan. They got Quinn Ewers from Texas. You got to get healthy, bro. You got Carson Beck, Travis Hunter. I don't like this list because there's no Shedeur Sanders. Now, I know a lot of Heisman voters like the on and off the field, and they don't like Shedeur Sanders' antics sometimes, but the guy was disrespecting him at Colorado State. You got to tell the whole story, you know. But let's take a look at some other pages really quick and get you some video footage. So I want you guys to see what was going on in high school football and college football last night. So we're going to go take a look at 305 Sports because they were the only people that were out there. Everybody else did not show up for the high school kids. But we had a big game down south with South Ridge and Homestead. Okay, so this the wrong page, not 305 Sports. Which one was it? The portal? I'm trying to see. I'm trying to look out for these youngsters. Make sure they get their shine. Okay, so yeah, I can't find the page, but there was one of the pages that, they got a couple of pages that follow high school football. One of the pages. Okay, there we go. Jerry Rising Stars. I think this is it. Jerry Rising Stars. Were they out there? Okay, yeah, I think they were out there. So shout out to Jerry for coming through for the youngsters because a lot of people abandoned them last night. Now, Norland put 49 on Archbishop McCarthy. So Norland continues to roll teams, 49-16, Miami Norland. And remember, DB coach said he's the best DB coach in the country. Okay, they had a pick 6 against Chaminade, a pick 6 against the Northwestern. They don't get 6 right here, but they get another pick. So Norland must be respected. Now, the big one, one of the big games of the day, we got Florida Christian. They defeat Coral Shores 21-7. Then at South Ridge Park, you had Coral Reef going against Varela 41-6. I'm trying to see some of that Homestead game. Okay, Homestead and South Ridge in a hard-fought battle. See, there's a lot of teams up top, with the Miramars, even though that's not Dave, but Miramar, Chaminade, the Northwestern Central, and Northwestern and Central is next week. I'm not sure if it's Saturday or Friday. You got the Booker T. You got and I'm gonna keep you updated on if Booker T reschedules the game for Monday. But you got the Booker T's, you got the Centrals, you got the Pace. Pace just beat Carol City. But there's some teams down south: Columbus, Palmetto, South Ridge, and South Day and Homestead. They're not playing. People think because Killian not good this year that the South was down, but the South got some teams, man. So this is a little footage from that South Ridge and Homestead game. Because a lot of people were picking Homestead, but South Ridge been showing out. That's actually a nice interception right there in the fourth quarter. That would close the game. He set it out to the Homestead receiver. South Ridge was able to, come up big on defense this earlier in the game. Homestead going deep. South Ridge, defending. And then you got a field goal. This one would be blocked. So Homestead had a lot of opportunities to take this one, but South Ridge was lucky. They were blessed. They were blessed by God. He was on their side last night. But don't take Homestead lightly. They are still a competitor for, I believe, either 5A or 6A for that state title. Homestead still can win the state title, but South Ridge is coming. South Ridge is coming. Like I said, South Dade. So those down south teams, they definitely showing out, man. They definitely showing out. There's some more footage of it. Let me go to ESPN so I can get you a little look at the Miami game, and we're going to get up out of here. I just wanted to show love to the high school football for a second, but we got to go to the big guys. Okay, so ESPN college football, if you take a look, you'll see we already saw that controversial catch, but I just want you guys to just see some of the stuff that was going on in general in this game. So this is early in the game. Cam Ward trying to make something happen. You know, I think that's what an incomplete pass because the arm went straight, you know, with Tom Brady tuck rule, but they wanted to make this a turnover, whatever. And then we go further along, and his cousin Tyron Jones decided to make him pay for his mistake or the referee's mistake. So Virginia Tech was showing up and showing out. This is the two cousins, you know, Cam Ward, you know, had a lot to say, and then Kyron shot back saying Cam's going to see when we play Miami. I'll just show him who's the real number one. And you know, they both wear number one. That's their jersey number. So I guess that's what he meant by the real number one. But let's look at the comeback. You know, it's not always about how you fall. Sometimes it's about the comeback. So this is one of Cam's big plays. You know, hitting Jacoby George, always reliable for the touchdown. Then we got Kyron Jones back and dropping back. And Mr. Interception, Meech Powell. I don't know if that's 4 or 5 on the year. But no, he's always coming up with picks. He's not quite Cam Kitchens, but he's a leader back there in that back seven. He's made Jaden Harris and Williams, Markeith Williams, real comfortable, you know, knowing that he's a good leader. And then this is a great play action, going to the future NFL pick, Elijah Arroyo from Cam Ward, one of the top 10 picks in the NFL draft, probably. And Washington, even though they have Steve Belichick, which as defensive coordinator, which is Bill Belichick's son, and Brennan Carroll, Pete Carroll's son, as offensive coordinator, that still was not enough to beat Rutgers. So shout out to Rutgers for beating the NFL staff. And then we're not going to spend too much time on it, but this is the play again from another view. The Hail Mary throw from the 40-yard. And this is what I'm telling you. Kyron Jones has got a lot better as a passer because he's dropping that in like Aaron Rodgers. But, yeah, no catch, man. No catch. They both, you know, they touching out of bounds. The ball moving around. You know, it's no catch. But it's nothing to be ashamed of. I don't see Virginia Tech as a national competitor, but I do see them maybe if they beat Clemson, can sneak into the ACC championship and get a rematch of this game. But I feel like they're building towards next year, but they could still be a 9-win team or an 8-win team and then 9 with the bowl game. You know, so Rutgers still undefeated, and that's going to be the show for the day. Go put those picks in. Let me get to this upset.